Hi guys, this is Coach Paul, and today I want to make a video for those of you that are a little bit more advanced and you're stuck at home to train with minimal equipment during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I hope this will help you keep all those hard-earned gains. In this video, we are going to talk about blood flow restriction training. So let's dive into it. Although blood flow restriction training has been developed in Japan in the 1960s, only recently it has been used by more advanced lifters. Safe blood flow restriction training can be achieved by wrapping a knee wrap at the proximal end of a limb, for example the closest one to your body, for example at the shoulder or at the hips, at a perceived tightness of 7 out of 10. This is done to maintain arterial inflow of blood while occluding venous outflow. The theory behind blood flow restriction training is that venous occlusion will increase the metabolite buildup of your working muscle, thus increasing training adaptations. A 2017 meta-analysis by Hughes et al. Reviewed 30 studies on blood flow restriction training, and researchers found out that compared to low-load training without blood flow restriction, low-load training with blood flow restriction had a moderate effect for increasing strength. And from a probabilistic viewpoint, 69% of the population will likely experience better gains in muscular strength utilizing blood flow restriction training with low-load training than without. While heavyweight training without blood flow restriction is still the way to go to increase muscular strength, from a hypertrophy standpoint, while volumes are equated, low-load blood flow restriction training and heavy weight training could have comparable results, making blood flow restriction training still a viable option in case you've got injured and you cannot use heavy weights, or you're lacking equipment, for example, during this time of social distancing. A 2019 study done by Bjornsson et al. On national level powerlifters had two groups of lifters trained for 6.5 weeks, including two 1-week blocks of front squats. One group did normal heavier front squat training, while the other group did only low-load blood flow restriction training during those front squat blocks. The group doing low-load blood flow restriction training experienced significant quad hypertrophy, including preferential type 1 fiber growth, while the group doing traditional heavy training failed to grow. However, strength gains were similar and negligible in both groups. This was really a surprising study, due to the fact that it provided really substantial evidence for fiber type specific hypertrophy, because all the recent studies provided very slim evidence. So when to use blood flow restriction training? Well, BFR training can be really awesome when training your arms, your legs, or your calves. So when training arms, just wrap yourself under the shoulders. When training legs, just wrap yourself at the hips. When training your calves, just under your knees. Also, don't wrap yourself too tight. As mentioned before, a 7 out of 10 would be perfect. But if you start feeling tingling in your arms or your legs, that means the wrap is way too tight. How safe is blood flow restriction training? An initial safety concern regarding low-load blood flow restriction training includes thrombus formation or blood clots. Research examining low-load blood flow restriction training with healthy individuals and older adults with heart disease found no change in blood markers for thrombin generation or intravascular clot formation. Furthermore, data from two surveys of nearly 13,000 individuals utilizing blood flow restriction training found that the incidence of deep venous thrombosis was less than 0.06% and pulmonary embolism was less than 0.01%. Data from the mentioned surveys found the incidence of excessive muscle damage or rhabdomyolysis to be less than 0.01%. So generally, low-load blood flow restriction training is safe when implemented right, and it could be a very good tool to use in case you are injured and you cannot use heavy loads, or you have minimal equipment at your disposal. If you like the video, press a thumbs up And if you want to find out more about training and nutrition, hit subscribe.